right, thank you for that, Councilman. Now we're going to move on to the topic of solitary confinement and its physical and mental effects on prisoners. All will have 2 minutes to testify. First up, we have a Dwayne Mumford.
Actually, the name is D. Wayne, like the letter D. But what up, though? I just got out. How are you?
You may proceed with your testimony.
The first thing I want to hit you to is the hole. How come the food is always cold or the time when it was 40 below outside and they told us the heat went out and they played us out of any extra blankets or thermals? Man, it be cold in there and lights stay on all but 5 hours a day. Had me feeling like I was in a third world country or something.
Where are you referring to, sir?
DC jails, sir.
Thank you for your testimony, but I see no documentation of this. No records of grievances filed, no formal complaints. This is a testimony, sir, and with a testimony, there must be evidence.
Excuse me, Your Honor, council member. This isn't working. For the sake of being inclusive, I'd like to ask if I can bring up my translator. I think he can help interpret so that you can hear me a bit better.
Dwayne the Brilliance Translator at your service. How are you? Pardon me, sir, but no evidence? Let's be sensible. This man has explained his plight. He has the weight loss and corrective lenses to prove it. The food is inadequate, and the lights are cruel and unusual punishment.
All right, check this out, Chief. What about what old boy James said about the hole? He said something like, we had like Buster or something, not where dude's supposed to be free. Man, this some bull.
He's talking about Ranking Member James Comer of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform, where he likened the DC jail solitary confinement issue to governments like Russia and dictatorships, not the land of the free.
And by Russia, he's talking about Siberian stuff. Man, it's cold as hell in here. I guess the reason the lights be on all day and night is to help us see the error of our ways, huh?
Again, I ask, have you submitted any of this in writing, a grievance form, a letter to the administration, anything, really?
Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Correctional center? Yeah, right. They're not correcting nothing in there. Instead, people leaving worse off. If the conditions hadn't made my eyes so bad, maybe we could read a book or two or learn stuff that ain't bad.
Sir, with all due respect, if the conditions met the basic standard of humane, the inmates would be able to focus on things like formally documenting wrongs, or better yet, focus on things like learning a trade or taking a course on personal betterment, instead of worrying about living conditions that are supposed to help men and women who are just trying to pay a debt and get on with leading a better, more productive life. Mr. Councilman, what he's saying is the continuous high-wattage fluorescent lights have a proven negative impact on people's sight and things like circadian rhythm, which affect mood and things like that.
Sir, is that it? Well, actually, we're out of time, as it happens to be. But thank you for your time, gentlemen.
And thank you, Your Honor, for nothing. Even though you looked at me, I knew all you heard was nothing but ex-offender. They said being in the hole without regular exercise or no contact with your people will drive you crazy and make you not be able to socialize normally like most people. I've been talking to myself so long and shunned so much contact from other people by being segregated for long periods of time, a problem y'all created by forgetting I was still human. I don't know. Maybe you think I should just stay in there instead of being free and scaring the public.
In other words, thank you for the 2 minutes you gave me to talk about the wrongs that we've been subjected to for decades, particularly solitary confinement. I hope that you found value today in my lived experience, despite the fact it doesn't meet your standard of evidence. But since that is our time, I recommend following the advocacy of organizations like Voices Unbarred, DC Justice Lab, and Delicious Democracy to learn more.